Meow, my friends. The Middle East geopolitical chessboard is about to get a royal shake-up. The Biden administration is ready to sign historic defense and economic agreements with Saudi Arabia. But there's a catch bigger than a hairball. They want a ceasefire in Gaza first. It's like trying to organise a dinner party while the kitchen's on fire and the guests are throwing plates at each other. These agreements aren't just your run-of-the-mill handshake deals. We're talking about a formal defense treaty that would make Saudi Arabia the belle of the Middle Eastern ball, with the US as its designated dance partner. It's a move that's got more layers than a royal wedding cake and more potential consequences than a curious cat in a china shop. Let's break it down, shall we? On one side, we've got the Saudis, led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS as he's known to his frenemies. He's been pushing his Vision 2030 initiative, trying to wean the kingdom off its oil addiction faster than a cat off catnip. It's like he's trying to turn the kingdom from a sleepy desert cat into a high-tech tiger, complete with flying cars and robot camels. Okay, I made that last part up, but with MBS, would you really be surprised? On the other side, we've got President Biden, desperately trying to broker peace in a region that's about as stable as a Jenga tower in an earthquake. His administration, including Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, has been working harder than a cat trying to bury its business on a marble floor. Blinken recently said, "We believe that security for Israel cannot come at the cost of insecurity for the Palestinians," which is a bit like saying, you can't have your tuna and eat it too. But in diplomacy, sometimes you have to state the obvious. And in the middle, Gaza, the geopolitical hot potato that's been passed around for decades. Since October 7th, 2023, when Hamas launched a devastating attack on Israel, the region has been embroiled in a conflict hotter than a cat on a tin roof in July. The Israeli military response has been swift and severe, leading to a humanitarian crisis that's left 1.6 million people living in makeshift shelters. That's more displaced people than there are breeds of cats, my friends. The Biden administration is saying, hey, if you want our protection, you've got to help us put out this fire first. It's like asking someone to help you move house before you'll agree to be their roommate. But in this case, the house is on fire, the movers are arguing, and someone keeps rearranging the furniture while no one's looking. But here's where it gets really interesting, my friends. This isn't just about the US and Saudi Arabia. Oh no, that would be far too simple for the Middle East. Israel's in the mix too, with the potential for normalized relations with Saudi Arabia dangling like a laser pointer in front of a cat. It's a diplomatic dance that makes the tango look like a game of patty cake. Meow, let's talk numbers, because nothing says serious business like a bunch of digits. We're looking at over 44,000 Palestinians killed and 104,000 injured in the ongoing conflict. That's not just a statistic, my friends. That's a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions. And with 1.6 million people living in makeshift shelters, it's clear that this ceasefire isn't just a political chess move. It's a matter of 9 lives. But wait, there's more. This deal could also include US support for Saudi Arabia's civilian nuclear program. Because apparently, what the Middle East really needs is more nuclear capability. It's like giving a jetpack to a cat and hoping it'll only use it to reach the top shelf of the treats cabinet. And let's not forget about Iran, the elephant in the room that everyone's trying to pretend is just a very large houseplant. These agreements could potentially shift the balance of power in the region, leaving Iran feeling like the cat who didn't get the cream. With Saudi Arabia potentially getting cozy with both the US and Israel, Iran might find itself the odd cat out in this geopolitical litter box. Now, you might be wondering, Ron, why is the US so keen on this deal? Well, my feline friends, it's not just because they love playing peacemaker. Saudi Arabia recently joined BRICS and has been making eyes at China like a cat spotting a juicy mouse. The US is trying to keep Saudi Arabia in its corner faster than you can say ps 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 ps. Of course, getting these agreements through Congress will be about as easy as herding cats. Can you imagine the debates? It'll be like watching a bunch of cats fighting over a ball of yarn, except the yarn is billions of dollars in military aid, and the cats are wearing suits. And let's not forget the potential risks and criticisms. Some say cozying up to Saudi Arabia is like petting a cat backwards. It might seem like a good idea at first, but you're likely to end up scratched. Human rights concerns in the kingdom are as numerous as a cat's whiskers, and not everyone's purring at the idea of strengthening ties. The technology transfers in these agreements are nothing to sneeze at either. We're talking advanced weapons systems, cybersecurity cooperation. It's like upgrading from a simple laser pointer to a full-blown feline entertainment system. The Saudis might soon have more high-tech toys than a Silicon Valley cat cafe. Time is of the essence too, my friends. With the US political transition looming, the Biden administration is scrambling to seal this deal faster than a cat chasing the red dot. It's a race against the clock, and the stakes are higher than a cat up a tree. Other Middle Eastern countries are watching these developments like a group of neighborhood cats eyeing a newcomer. Will this upset the delicate balance of the regional pecking order? Only time will tell, but you can bet there'll be some hissing and arched backs before it's all over. So, my friends, what we're looking at here is a high-stakes game of diplomatic Jenga. Pull out the wrong piece, and the whole thing could come crashing down. But if they manage to stack it just right, we could be looking at a new era of peace and stability in the Middle East. Of course, that's assuming everything goes according to plan. And if there's one thing we've learned about the Middle East, it's that plans have a funny way of going sideways faster than a cat on a freshly waxed floor. If you're feline these geopolitical perspectives, don't forget to scratch that like button and pounce on the subscribe icon. Your support keeps our whiskers twitching and our tails high. This has been Ron de Parmesan with your News Cats briefing. Remember, my friends, in the world of Middle Eastern politics, the only thing more complicated than the present is the future. Keep your paws on the pulse and your eyes on the prize, even if that prize is just a really good nap. Meow for now. We'll return shortly with more updates. I'm Ron de Parmesan, and this has been another News Cats special report.